Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you're somebody who probably has some sort of interest in becoming Catholic. Maybe you're completely committed to becoming Catholic, and maybe you're just interested and you want to see what that process would look like. Well, that's exactly what I want to talk through in this video. I want to talk through the process of becoming Catholic, some things to expect, and some things that you can do right away to start becoming Catholic if that's something that you want to do. Hey, my name is Matt Poole, and this is Unapologetically Catholic. I grew up Protestant and came into the Catholic faith. And there's a couple of different ways that you can go about becoming Catholic. There's one main, normal, regular way that people do it, but it doesn't mean that there are no exceptions that are ever made. And I was one of the ones who an exception was made for me. But whether or not you take the long way or the short way, or maybe the short way is much longer. Anyways, no matter which direction you take, it is a process, and there's a reason for that. It's because becoming Catholic is not just, if you're a Protestant, it's not just, oh, I'm switching to a different denomination. No, you're coming into the fullness of the faith, and so it can be a little bit jarring. There is differences. Now, I'm not saying that Protestants aren't Christians and now you're becoming a Christian, by no means. And if you're someone who's not Catholic or not Christian, then it could be very different from what you've always experienced. And if you're non-religious, there's some things that you need to know because it's a big deal to come into the Catholic Church. But it's a good big deal. But this is the reason why the church has the process. So the process that I'm referring to is called OCIA. It used to be called RCIA. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail, but let's get started first off with something you can do right now. So there's two main ways that you can go about coming into the church, at least to start off. One is that you can look up your local Catholic church, just go to Google Maps and type Catholic church near me. Pick whichever one it is, go to their church website, and it'll tell you when the Mass times are. So you can either go on a Sunday, or you can go to one of the daily Masses if you want to. There's going to be a lot less people probably on a daily Mass than there is on a Sunday Mass, just forewarning. So if you want to blend into the crowd a little bit more, you're definitely going to want to go on a Sunday. You don't have to be Catholic to go to a Catholic Mass. You don't have to be Protestant. You don't have to be Christian. You could be completely non-religious atheist to go to a Catholic Mass if you wanted to. No one's going to check for your ticket at the door like a train ride. Now, the only thing you cannot do yet is receive communion. But everything else that they do in the Mass, you can do. So if you want to go to Mass and you want to participate, I would suggest, if you've never seen a Catholic Mass before, just look one up on YouTube and watch one on YouTube. It is going to be different. Like if you're a Protestant who goes to church on a regular basis, it will be different from a Protestant church service. If you've never stepped foot in a church before, it will obviously be very different from what you're used to, if anything. But it's very beautiful and it's very reverent. So yeah, go. You can participate. You can do all of the things that you want to, except for receiving communion. When it goes time to receive communion, you can either go up with your arms crossed like this, and the priest or the deacon can give you a blessing, or you can just remain in your pew, just kind of scoot out of the way so everybody else who needs to get by can get by. It's totally fine. There are plenty of good resources online that can tell you what is being said by all the people, when it needs to be said. You also have the resource of the Roman Missal that will likely be in the pew in front of you or in the seats next to you. You can always ask the person next to you. Now, obviously, everyone should be being quiet, so you could tell the person next to you, if you're the type of person that talks to strangers, you could say, hey, I've never been to a Mass before. This is my first time. Can you help me? And they should be able to help you. But follow along. And so then after Mass, when everyone leaves, most of the time, the deacon and or the priest, or both of them, will be standing out front or outside one of the doors. I would walk and then go, and typically they greet people. So I'd just go up to the priest or the deacon, say, hey, my name is John Smith. I've never been to a Catholic Mass before. This was my first time. I'm interested in becoming Catholic. What do I need to know? And they can talk you through the process. That's one way. The other way is you could do it right now. You could pause this video and go do it right now, as long as it's maybe more in the middle of a weekday. But go to Google Maps, type in Catholic Church near me, pick the one that's the closest, find the phone number, call them, and it'll probably take you to a secretary. So talk to the secretary and say, hey, my name's John Smith. Jane Doe. We'll do Jane Doe this time. My name's Jane Doe, and I am interested in becoming Catholic. What do I need to do? And they will probably talk to you about OCIA. So let's talk about OCIA. That stands for Order of Christian Initiation in Adults. So OCIA used to be called RCIA, Rite of Christian Initiation in Adults. But there's been some changes. This is at least applies to the US. So if you're outside the US, your mileage may vary. But OCIA or RCIA, whatever it is you're a part of, it is a process of discernment. So it is a period of discernment in coming into the Catholic Church. So what does that look like? Typically speaking, it's a 9-month-ish program. Now, I've seen some churches do it as quick as like 3 months. I've seen some churches say, well, we need 2 years. But either way, it is a process of coming into the Catholic faith. It's not quite like if you're a Protestant, it's kind of like a new members class, but maybe a little bit more in depth because it's a lot longer. I don't know any Protestant church that has a 9-month plus new members class process. But that's because there's a lot to learn, and the church wants to make sure that if you are going to come into the Catholic faith, that you're willing to commit, which can seem daunting, and it's not daunting. All of this stuff that you have to commit to is very, very good stuff, and it's worth committing to, but the church just wants to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. So I am the OCIA coordinator at my local parish. The way that I structure the classes is in the beginning of the year, we talk about very core basic, like who is Jesus, who is God, what is the Trinity, why be Catholic instead of just Christian, why do we need a pope, the magisterium, scripture, tradition, how do those all work together? And then we move in the middle of the year to more, Marian dogmas and the saints and intercession of the saints and purgatory, things like that. And then at the very end of the year, we talk about living as a Catholic. We talk about prayer practices. We talk about what your day-to-day life is going to look like because you're about to become Catholic. And 9 times out of 10, you will come in at the Easter Vigil, which is the Mass that is done the Saturday night before Easter Sunday. It's a very long Mass. It's probably 2.5, 3-ish hours, something like that. It generally starts at dark and then goes for 2-3 hours. So it starts at, 8 to 10, 11, somewhere around there. But it's beautiful. It is such a beautiful Mass. And that's when most people come in. If you are not baptized, that is for sure when you'll come in. If you are baptized, you can come in at different times of the year. And this is why you need to talk to your local parish, because it's going to vary parish to parish and situation to situation a little bit. OCIA is going to be a great time. You'll learn a lot. You'll make new friends, which is also really good. You'll build community, which is important. We'll talk about that at the end. But there are some things that you need to be prepared for that I always like to warn people of. As you go through the OCIA process, I see it every single year. I see it especially now as we get closer to Easter, and then I'll see it even more as we get into Lent. But there seems to be a lot of spiritual warfare that people tend to go through when they go through this process. And like I said, especially as they get closer to Easter, which is absolutely no surprise because you're looking at coming into the fullness of the faith. And obviously, Satan does not want you to come into the fullness of the faith. So just be prepared for that. You need to be praying, reading scripture, and have good community around you to be able to be prepared for those things and to endure through them. So some common fears that people kind of have about going through OCIA. Because again, it can seem kind of daunting. It's a long process. It's a long time. And it's a lot of commitment. So one of the fears is, well, I don't know enough about Catholicism. Maybe you're the type of person who says, I don't really know anything about religion. I just know that I need to become Catholic, but I don't know that I need to study before I come into OCIA. That is not the case. That is the whole purpose of OCIA, is to help teach you these things. So if I say the word Trinity and you don't know what Trinity means, that's okay. They will talk about that in OCIA. And if they don't, you can ask. That's exactly what this process is for. It's a process of discerning coming into the Catholic faith. This is the perfect time to ask the hard questions and ask the difficult questions and ask the challenging questions that you have running through your mind. One of the other things that I'll hear is, well, I'm not really quite sure that I'm committed to becoming Catholic yet. I'm interested in Catholicism, but I don't know that I for sure want to become Catholic. Again, that's okay. That's what OCIA is for. I have had people who start OCIA in August. They go all the way to end of March, into April, whenever Easter ends or whenever Easter is. And they say, hey, look, I've gone through this whole 9-month process. I appreciate it. I've learned a lot, but now is just not the time. I've had people go 2 months in. I've had people go 6 months in and then say, hey, this was great and I would love to do it, but now is just not the time. That is totally fine. You don't sign your name on the dotted line somewhere and they're going to chase you down and make you become Catholic or something if you don't go through it. That will not happen. And if it does, let me know, because that's weird and that should not be happening. And then one of the other concerns is that family, friends, people close to you are going to have a really hard time with it. Like, I don't know if I can go through with this because my family is going to hate me if I become Catholic. This is a legitimate fear. I experienced heat and pushback myself from friends, and I know plenty of people who have had much worse than I have. But I myself and anyone that I've talked to that's experienced this really heavy, hard pushback from friends and family members would every single time say that, yes, it was extremely hard. It was very difficult, but I would never go back and not do it because it was challenging and it was hard. I have a video that I'll put a card in this video that goes into detail on that. I talk through my experience, what happened with me, and some advice or tips and tricks that I would give to people who are going through this process. So I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but the last thing that I want to mention is that you have to have good community around you. This is one thing that I personally did not necessarily have, and if I could change anything about my coming into the church, this is what I would have changed. So and to give you the short version, I did not go through OCIA. I reached out to the parish priest. I studied Catholicism for 8 years and said, I need to receive the Eucharist like right now, if at all possible. And he said, well, there's a little bit more of a process to it than that. So you can't just come into the church today, but let's meet. You said you studied Catholicism for 8 years. Let's meet. And then he quizzed me very hard. And, because if I am going to tell a priest that I studied Catholicism for 8 years, I should know what the church teaches and believes. And so we talked, and he said, well, what are you struggling with in your Christian walk right now as a Protestant? And I said, I don't pray nearly as much as I would like to. So he gave me a couple of books on prayer, and he said, come back to me when you're done with these, and we can talk about you coming into the church. So exceptions like that can be made. And so this process started in November of 2021. I came into the church in January of 2022. So exceptions can be made. And like I said, I did this all alone. I wish that I would have had a group that I came through with, because it's very hard to come into the Catholic Church and not know anybody and not know anything about Catholicism, not know anything about like what it's like to be a Catholic. So I think you need community. If you're going through OCIA, you'll have that because you'll have class members that you're talking to. And you should be going to Mass throughout this process of OCIA, and that can help you kind of get to know some of the people in the parish as well. That is priority number one, I think, or not priority number one, but that is the real in-life community is the biggest thing. You should have real in-person community. I think below that, and something that can supplement that, is online community. There's plenty of online communities that you can join. I have one. I have a school that you can join, you can be a part of. We talk about all kinds of stuff regarding the faith. We do live monthly video calls, all kinds of cool stuff. That's great. That's good. But that should not be the only type of Catholic community you have. You need real life in-person community. So as someone who was not in the Catholic Church and I was outside of the church, and someone who came into the Catholic Church, I would absolutely encourage you to at least start. At least go through OCIA. Maybe if you're completely committed and you've been studying Catholicism for a super long time and you don't know what to do, call and ask to talk to the priest. You never know what kind of exceptions he can make or what he can do or when you can come into the church. If you're somebody who's kind of interested, but you don't really know if you want to become Catholic or not, I would highly, highly, highly suggest going through OCIA, because worst case scenario, you make a couple of friends and you learn more about Catholicism. I think it's a great idea. And if there's any questions that you have, if there's any part of this that you thought, well, he touched on this, but he didn't go into a lot of detail, put a question in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them for you. But with that, thank you for being here. Please consider subscribing if this video was helpful, and God bless.